Ever heard of a word that its meaning has nothing to do with how it sounded like? For example, romanticism. Is romanticism really just about romance? Or is it even about love all along? Because what if I tell you that if you find the answer to that, you find something far, far darker than you expect it to be? You must be wondering what the purpose of this speech is about. So, it was actually to educate the audience the true meaning of romanticism and how important it is to analyze the painting to know the message behind it. You can actually trust me on this information as I am someone that loves to find tiny little details in painting, and I find that romanticism is the most interesting out of all as it's complex in its own way. And I have done plenty of research as well on the topic and managed to find relevant information from experts through books and articles. So here today with me, alias Sabrina, will help you define what exactly is romanticism and its art movement in art history. Secondly, I will help you to understand how politics shape romanticism. Now let us dive into the main idea, one, which is the definition and the history. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, the birth of romanticism. All information for this segment will be curated to Michael Ferber, which is the writer of the book titled Romanticism, a very short introduction. So, in his book, he stated that Romanticism actually started in the 18th century, but its influence only started to spread from Europe to America in the middle of the 19th. But what exactly shaped Romanticism? So, actually, this art movement happened because of the rise of individualism, means where people finally get to speak up about an issue, and it's mainly caused by a response to social life and the political issue in that era. In Romanticism, artists actually express their inner struggle, disappointment, sadness. These raw emotions are the true meaning of Romanticism, and this is what actually makes this art movement unique than the others. So take notes. Raw emotion is what created Romanticism, not just merely love nor romance. We can take it as example from the famous painting, which is The Wrath of Medusa by Theodore Géricault. And this painting was actually inspired by an actual shipwreck that occurred in the 1816, where numbers of people died from malnutrition, thirst, and chaos when the French frigate Medusa ran aground, leaving only a few survivors in an almost collapsed raft. So the painter himself, yes, the painter, not a detective, he himself investigated the tragedy truly in detail, studying survivors went house by house, interviewing them, and he even made a replica raft to represent the sorrow, the real tragedy sorrow. So his painting actually breaks away from classical tradition to concentrate on pure emotions and social reality, reflecting human sorrow, hope, and despair, and it considered as essential elements of Romanticism. So again, raw emotion curated Romanticism. Now, let's take a look at the second idea, which is how politics shaped Romanticism. For this segment, all information will be credited to Dr. Claire Black McCoyber from Smart Histories. So now let us begin. Romanticism as a reaction to political injustice. The Wrath of Medusa is a big phenomenon, they say. But why? Because in classical art, white figure means those who are white skinned were usually idealized in place in heroic position, means they are the main character to everything. Books, movies, novels, article or whatever, even in politics. So Géricault actually broke these norms by placing a black man at the highest point of the composition, waving the rescue signals. This choice was actually highly, of course, unusual at that time because the norms at that time is racism. Racism is the norm for them. So actually various opinion regarding on this matter in that era. Some commented it's just pure disgusting. Some actually finally, happy because there's finally epiphany, something about to break away from the norms. They are happy about it. Garrick also actually take this chance to expose the political failure behind the real tragedy. Why? Because the painting actually reveal how government inefficiency, arrogance, and poor leadership contributed to the disaster. It highlight class injustice, showing that elites and officers escaped safely in lifeboat, leaving the lower-ranking people stranded on the middle of the sea for days. And actually, there's even a cannibalism going on in the painting. And that is how Romanticism is born and how politics shape its movement. Finally, we have arrived at the last part of the speech. We can conclude that Romanticism was an artistic and cultural movement that against the norms, which is against the norm at that time, where artists now openly express their emotion, passion individually as a reaction to significant social and political shift, inspiring artists to voice their emotions. Romanticism altered art by changing the focus from idolizing the beauty to raw reality, imagination, and deep emotional truth. So what I would like to recommend based on my studies is that we need to appreciate the sensitivity of the human's mind and human's emotion more, and promote multidisciplinary research, and please connect with politics. So that's all for me today. Bye bye.